Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody has had a wonderful day today. Doing something a little bit different. Usually, I've been posting my VODs from my Twitch streams. However, one of my community members, Dots, had asked me to do a tutorial on the Real Gas Giants mod. So I figured I would go ahead and do a quick and dirty version of that. I've had a chance to kind of look it over and figure out what needs to be done to make it all work. However, if you are interested in more detailed information, you can always check out that mod on the Steam Workshop, and I'll make sure to put a link in the description box for that so that you can look at all of the nitty-gritty information. However, to go ahead and just do a quick video tutorial to show how it's done, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hop into a new game. So you're going to want to go to New Game, obviously. And for this, we're going to just do a regular star system. You'll then want to go to Customize. Then just give this a quick name. We'll do Real Gas Giant Star SS for Star System. Next, you want to go into Choose Mods. And once it loads, there we go. You'll want to go ahead and scroll down in your list. Yours may be shorter or longer. Not judging until you get to the Real Gas Giants mod. Double click that on over to your list. And for this, we're only going to be doing this mod. I don't need all the others since I won't actually be playing in this particular save. Once you're done with that, go ahead and hit OK. Change any of your other settings that you want, and then hit Start. Once you get, however, to the spawn screen, what you're going to want to do is to actually go ahead and choose Spacesuit. This is actually important because if you go to any other location, it's going to give you a drop pod, and we actually don't want that for this particular situation. But once you have selected Spacesuit, go ahead and hit Respawn. And you are now greeted by the middle of space. Beautiful, mostly empty space. You'll see some various planets, in this case Earth-like, the moon, a couple others out there in the distance. But what we're interested in is doing two very important things. Now bear in mind, this is for the Steam version of the game, so you may not be able to do this on the console or the Xbox Games Pass version. So for this, what we want to do is we want to hit the Alt F10 keys, and that'll bring up our admin screen. Maybe a little bit hard to see here with the stuff in the background. Let me shift the camera a little bit. So Alt F10, that'll bring up your admin screen. What we want to do is just make sure that Enable Creative Mode Tools is checked. This will allow us to get to the other screens that are necessary for this tutorial. Once you have that done, just press Escape. Now, what that also enables is spectator mode, which is going to be super useful as that will allow us to move our camera through space quickly and efficiently and not have any issues with having to get our spaceman or our engineer into the correct location. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and hit the F8 key at the top. That'll put you into your spectator mode, which puts your camera out a good distance. Kind of useful if you need to look at other locations or you want to go track something down. But that puts us in a good position. You can also go ahead and move this anywhere you need to. You can zoom out or you can move forward the same way you move your engineer with the WASD keys, Q and E to rotate. Also, if you are moving forward with the camera and you press and hold Shift, you will actually be moving your camera faster. It's hard to see without a frame of reference, but as you can see, it does have a small effect. And then while you're moving and holding Shift, if you scroll up or down with the scroll wheel on the mouse, that will increase your speed or decrease your speed. So super useful. Let's get into our position again, just like any other item in the game. And for that, you need the spawn menu. To get to that, press Shift F10. That'll bring up your spawn menu. And I already have planets selected here. You may wind up on the items screen. That's fine. Just go up here to the drop-down list and find planets. Now, in this list of planets, you will see everything from Earth-like, alien, all the way down to Titan and Triton. The one that we want specifically is Real Gas Giant. Select that once to highlight it. Then come down here to select size and choose whatever size you want. 19 kilometers is the smallest, 120 is the largest. I believe through mods you can get larger planets, but I'm not too sure about that. But for this, we'll just use 120. The next is the generation seed. You can actually go ahead and just hit this however many times you want. Doesn't matter. All this is just a random seed for the game's purposes. Once that's done, press spawn down here at the bottom. And what it's going to do is it's going to give you this wireframe sphere in green. And you can go ahead and kind of shift it around where you want it. If you press and hold Control and then scroll wheel out, that will allow you to push it farther away from you or pull it in closer to your camera view. We're going to go ahead and just push it out a little bit. And then once you're happy with its location, just left click. It may take a second or two. And there you go. You now have your gas giant placed. So we're going to move out a little ways. And as is, you would be able to go ahead and use your gas giant. Obviously, follow the rules of the gas giant mod. It has its various behaviors, so your ship, yourself, etc., can be damaged by it. But what I'm going to do is, while we still have admin tools and while we're still in the spectator mode, you're going to press and hold Control and then tap spacebar. And what that does is it moves your engineer to the spectator camera's location. Then from here, press F6, and that'll put you back into your engineer. Now, as I said, that's basically all you need to do to get started with the mod. However, if you wanted to tweak the gas giant and adjust some of its settings, there is a way to do that. However, that is going to be outside of the game. So what we're going to want to do is go ahead, hit save, and then exit to main menu. Now for this next part, you're going to need to open up My Computer or a folder view. Once you have this screen open, what you're going to want to do is go ahead and look at your top bar here where it says This PC. Now I'm running on Windows 11 with some changes. Windows 10 may look similar as well, but generally you're going to want to look for this bar up here. You want to click on it, and then you're going to want to type this exactly as it appears. That's going to be %, APPDATA, %, or %appdata %. Make sure it's all capitalized, then hit enter. What that's going to do is it's going to take you to your app data roaming folder for Windows, and you're specifically going to want to scroll down to where it says Space Engineers. Open that up, look for your saves folder, then open that up. You'll see a numbered folder here, open that one up, and then finally you are in your saves. Now the next step is to find the save file that you're working on. So in this case, we're working on Real Gas Giant SS. Open that. Then go to Storage, and then Real Gas Giants. And there you're going to find this config.xml. This is actually the meat and potatoes of the Real Gas Giant that we posted in, and you will most likely have one of these for each and every gas giant that you paste into your particular save. Right-click on that and choose Edit. And from here, you're going to have a whole list of options that you can choose. Now, the biggest one and the most important is going to be at the top with this override from config. And what you're going to see here is false right in the middle. We actually want to go ahead and select that and change that to true, all lowercase. And then immediately hit Control S to save. And now any of the options that you change in this file will actually be reflected in the save once you load it back up. So now I'm not going to go into all of these, just because for that, you're going to want to go ahead and check out the workshop page and get more details from there, as well as any of the additional information attached to it through the workshop. But once you have this configured the way that you want, again, just make sure to hit Control S to save, or go into File and Save, and then hit X, close this out. Then return back to the game, and all you have to do is hit Continue Game. And this will get loaded up. Any of the options that you change will be reflected in the save once it finishes, and you can go ahead and start playing. From there, if you wanted to go ahead and get into properly playing, your best option would be to go ahead and do something along the lines of hitting Alt F10, turning Enable Creative Mode tools back off. Make sure you do that. That is going to be incredibly important. Hit Escape out of here. And then when you want to go ahead and start the game properly, hit backspace for respawn, hit yes. And you'll be able to go ahead and get started. There you go, the quick and dirty version of being able to paste in a real gas giant planet and edit it for your saves. From there, you can go ahead and drop in any of the mods that you like and get to playing the way that you would enjoy the most. If you have any other questions, though, definitely leave some comments down below. I'll see what I can answer. Otherwise, check out the Real Gas Giants workshop page and direct your questions and comments to the author. They seem like a really cool person, and they definitely have a lot of information available about the mod. Other than that, though, as always, thank you all for joining me on these misadventures. You all have a wonderful day, stay out of trouble, and remember, if you get caught, I don't know you. I will catch you guys next time.